Hello people, it is a spectacular Tuesday afternoon and I have just gone for a walk and I've put in presents in the mail and I thought I'd pop on and say hi, take you guys for my walk down my local area and give you a Tuesday tip. So it's amazing how many things that we fear, particularly numbers. Fear of numbers is such an interesting thing, right? We can fear numbers when it comes to our money. We can fear numbers when it comes to how many people do or don't see our website. We can fear numbers when it comes to how many likes we get or how many cranky faces we get. But it's all just numbers. So there's this interesting thing that happens with fear, is that it stands in the way and holds us back. I have had fear when it comes to some of my numbers. And we see it all the time with our clients, right? Oh my gosh, I've busted over the 5.5 on my glucose. Oh my goodness, I've never weighed this much in my life. Oh my goodness, my cholesterol is X, Y, Z. And the doctor said if I don't do anything about it, something's going to happen. Now, numbers can be scary, but they can also be super empowering. Hey, Em. Oh, as I was walking down the hill, I did a live for our mastermind group. And now, I don't know if this was a great idea, puffing all the way back up. But you'll see the view at the top. I'll show you the view at the top. It's very exciting. Okay, so this is my my upgrade. A Garmin watch, especially for flying and other stuff. But it just so happens it has a whole bunch of fitness tracking on it. And as much as I'm not telling you all to get fit, because I clearly need to, what I am talking about is tracking. And sometimes it can seem really, really scary to look at your numbers. And if you are somebody like me that was hiding behind the fact that I wasn't doing enough walking, I would go over to Bali and I'd be like, yeah, walking everywhere on my 4 retreats a year. But when I was here, I'm in front of a computer the whole time. And to see what happens to those numbers was shocking to me. The first 2 days I had this thing, I was like, what? We're supposed to do 10,000 steps a day and I'm doing like 2. What is all that? 2,000 steps, that's ridiculous. And so instead of being scared of them and literally taking the watch off, putting my head in the sand for yet another month or whatever, I took it as a challenge. And now I'm super empowered by it because I just walked down an uphill 5Ks instead of quickly nipping my car down the road to do it, because it is empowering. It's scary to begin with, but it is empowering because now I know my numbers. I'm like, oh, I can do X, Y, or Z with it. First time I experienced this was definitely not walking up that hill. It was when I stuck my head in the sand or the shoebox around the receipts that I had for my bass. And somebody in the hub mentioned the other day that they had 3 basses that hadn't been handed in. And I totally get it. I totally get having shoeboxes full of receipts and not doing anything with them. I totally get having bits and pieces everywhere that you've never taken to an accountant or a bookkeeper. But nearly every single practitioner that I talk to, oh, that was a hill. Every single practitioner that I talk to has somebody that they are treating that they can go quid pro quo for their first bookkeeper. And the beauty of that is you then don't have to be embarrassed by the numbers. You don't have to hide them anymore. You don't have to dance around the conversation. You don't have to pretend not to know. You don't have to justify. Do you know how much energy it takes to justify not walking 10,000 steps? You don't have to make excuses. You can actually look at them, and even if they are small, 2,000 steps versus, I don't know, I'll pop it up here and tell you how many later on. You can start somewhere with it, but if you don't know, you can't start, right? So tracking and measuring is so important in your business. I even have a spreadsheet that I have between me and my marketing manager / VA, where we track how much tracking we've got on our Facebook page, how much we have on our Instagram account, how many likes, how much reach we've got, how many increase on the amount of traffic that we have for our website. I had to learn the hard way Google Analytics, and this is the thing about being in business. There is so many numbers hiding. Ooh, it's telling me I've stopped. Hiding and ignoring the numbers isn't going to move you forward. Hiding in fear isn't going to get you empowered. So my invitation today for Training Tuesday, Tips Tuesday, is find out about your numbers. Find a bookkeeper, look at your numbers, either through social media or through your bookkeeping or whatever it happens to be. Don't put your head in the sand, because it can be super empowering. A lot of you guys have had tax that you haven't put in yet. This is your reminder. It's time to do your tax. You are a big business owner now. You are not a hobbyist, and it's time to look at your numbers and take them seriously and go and get some. And if you can't do it, like I can't do this all the time, so I've actually hired a personal trainer to be able to look after me 2 days a week, because she's better at it than I am. She's better at keeping me accountable than I am. So outsource your numbers if you're not willing to look at them, but you first need to have a look, have a little sneak peek behind the scenes for your numbers to get a gauge on what type of help you really need. All right, hopefully this has been beneficial to some of you. Hopefully you've needed to hear this. Tracking and measuring now in my business is one of the biggest things. Data is king. Knowing how many people, where to put the money, where to put the time, where to put my energy is so much more important than spreading myself thin. And going for goals based on data, based on real data, not just a number I picked out of my head, which is exactly what I used to do, randomly pick numbers out of my head to aim for. But once you've put things down and once you actually know the data, you can actually get real results, because you're actually basing it on real stuff. All right, hey Carla. All right, I am going to flip you around to watch the sunset over the end of my street. And hooray, Glaireville, but it's quite beautiful here. I hope you guys have enjoyed your Tuesday and are looking forward to the rest of this epic week. And go and track something, even if it is your steps for the day. All right, have an amazing rest of the evening, and I will catch you guys later on in the week for Training Thursday. Bye.